What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Michigan State Pro Style Playbook in College Football 26. This is one of my favorite Pro Style books in the game. It was no different last year. Just a great variety of things that I would want in a Pro Style attack. Formations, concepts, personnel groupings. It's a little bit of everything in here. It's just what the NFL teams would run or get really close to it. So if you want to run a really good Pro Style attack with a little bit of flair, some, good motion stuff, this is definitely the playbook for you. So let's cover. We're going to go over the formations, concepts, play types, and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So let's start off with formations. Like with any pro style attack or a legit one, a true one, you're going to have a little bit of single back, some I formation, some two back, some pistol, some gun. This is what makes it just really NFL/pro style-ish. So let's start off with the very top, single back. This may be the best single back playbook in the game. There are other ones that's got plenty of them as well. But let's start off here now. Just pay attention to the alignment of some of your skill players. This is a 2x2 look. You got 3 tight ends here for the wing tight, 24 plays. That's a lot for a 13 personnel formation. Then we get into a 2x2 look with a couple tight ends out there and deuce. Then we got you off close. You're just bringing those 2 receivers in. Then we got ace close, another bunch said. So I know a lot of people, a lot of Madden fans, even a lot of college football fans love condensed formations and doing some weird things out of it. Well, you're going to have plenty of that in this playbook, and those 2 formations speak of that. Then we got wing close. You're moving your other tight end over to the right, so you got a 3x1 look there. Then we got wing, just a basic 3x1. Just a lot of 2 tight end stuff so far. Then we got wing X off, so you are just moving your X and Z receiver up and down between these 2 formations. Then we got wing flex. You're moving that Z receiver over to the left. Then we got bunch A, so pay attention to your 2 tight ends, 12 and 81. They're still out there, so this is technically a 2 tight end look. It's a 3x1. Then you got doubles flex, a little 3 wide receiver look there, 2x2. Then we got doubles Y off close, just another condensed formation. And now we're back to wing tight. So normally what I like to do is just kind of go through, try to find some good motion mini series. Those are just really fun to fool with. Those tend to work pretty well together. For example, we got a PA boot slide. You're just moving that other tight end over to the right and coming over there. Then we got another tight end motion PA boot. I'm going to go ahead and call this one. This looks really fun. You're just going, it's a pretty much, it's not a spider 2Y banana, but it's a kind of a flood concept. But you're bringing your tight end over, and you can go to him, you can go over the top, you can hit your crosser, just kind of whatever is up to you, whoever's open. Obviously, you may want to read that high to low, but that's pretty cool. You keep on going, and we got another motion, that motion power O. That's that same tight end on the left coming over to help blocking for you. Then we got the same motion with motion PA power O. Then we also have motion halfback dive. You're moving your other tight end. Then you got halfback toss. You're moving the tight end on the left over to the right. So just a lot of fun tight end movement. We got more Z dig, just bringing him over on the flat with like a Mills not so much a Mills, but a post and a dig across from each other. Really cool stuff out of that formation alone. Let's go to you off close. Do we have any here? We do not. What about ace close? So we finally got our first jet sweep series. You're going to see quite a bit of this in this playbook. Most playbooks that got a lot of single back are going to have a lot of jet sweep. Well, there you go. We got 3 jet sweep plays right there to all work together. You keep on going. Do we have any more? What about wing close? We can look through here. We don't have any there. What about wing? Do we got any here? So we got some Z motion. Just bringing your Z receiver over a little bit. You got to play action crossers. That's a good, kind of a modern NFL concept, to be honest. Then we got halfback toss crack, which is pretty cool. I'm going to call this toss if I like the tosses. If you can just be patient with the blocking. But I like it just kind of bringing him in there, and then you're just off and running, just trying to pick up whatever yards you can. Just a fun way to run toss. Get a little help, extra help from that Z receiver. You keep on going. We got a Z spot. So all 3 of these plays right there work really well together. Keep on going. I think that's it for, we got halfback power O, and then we got PA power O. So you're bringing that second tight end, your H back, whatever you want to call them. So those 2 plays work really well together. Wing X off. Here's another jet sweep series. They got the sweep. You got basic duo. And you got halfback power. We got more jet sweep. We got split zone. We got play action off of that. Then we got a zone of fake jet. So all 6 of those plays work really well together. You got a wing, a flex. Do we have any here? We got some X motion. So if I'm going to run a pro style offense, I'm going to do a lot with what the NFL guys do. Throw a lot of motion out there. And as you can see, just through the first 6 or 7 formations, we got a ton to play with. Here we have the X motion. We got a drive concept. We got a bubble. We got a bubble cross on top of that. Then we got another H-back motion, the other tight end running inside zone. We got a PA double post. We got trap. I'm a big trap fan. That's a really fun concept in this game. You keep on going. Bunch ace. And do we have any here? Just want to check. 24 plays, by the way. You just may want to kind of keep that in mind. This is a pretty popular formation. Any of the competitive guys always love to use compressed sets because they can just run. It's a little bit easier to read in terms of coverages and whatnot. You keep on going. Doubles flex. Do we have any motion here? We do not. And what about doubles way off close? More jet sweep. We got a red zone jet sweep power. They call it red zone just because the route's a little bit shorter. You can actually do it in the red zone. Then you got a jet sweep. They got a halfback power. You got a power leak. Then we got more jet sweep. We got a fake jet. We got a play action. Then we got the actual jet sweep itself. So that's 6 plays right there to work really well together. And of course, you don't need motion to have many schemes, but I always just want to point them out. So the last thing about these single back formations is a lot of these are exclusive to this playbook, only because there's just not many playbooks that have a lot of single back. So I didn't want to point them all out. There's like 5 or 6 of these that are just like in Michigan State, or they may be like in 2 other ones. So kind of keep that in mind. This is pretty unique stuff whenever you see any of the single back formations. Let's move on to I formation. What is that? Well, who's that number 44? I think that's a fullback. Yes, you are allowed to use a fullback in college football 26. By all means, do so. You got I Pro, the typical I formation. Then we got the slot version of that. You're just bringing the Z receiver over. Then we got wing. You're just adding another tight end into the mix. So those are your 3 formations there. Kind of expect pretty much typical I formation, play action, run, nothing too out of the ordinary here. We do got some Z motion. I wanted to point that out. It's an end around. We got the play action off of that. Then you can do the fake off of that. So those 3 plays work really well together, especially if you got a Z receiver that can move a little bit. You go to the slot formation. We got some jet sweep. We got a play action off of that. We got a jet lead zone. So I will mention this about jet sweep. I know they're not as good as they used to be. I mean, I think they still can be useful if the blocking's decent, but if I'm going to do any type of jet sweep, I want to have my jet sweep going towards the tight end side. I just think you got a better chance of getting a block or 2. It just depends on what the defense is doing. I'm always picking random defense when I'm calling plays live here. But again, I just kind of want to point that out. That would be a jet sweep that I would use more often. You keep on going. Do we got any more motion here? We do not. What about wing? Yes, we do. So this is a really fun one. PA fullback wheel. You got the fullback going on a wheel route, but it's a motion. Like if you call, we can go up against a cover 0. We'll see if we can pull this off or not. Forgive me if this is going to get botched or not, but it's always fun to bring him over like that. I don't know why the quarterback went 80 yards behind there, but anyway, it's doable. I think that's a cool little play if you got a fullback that can handle it. But go back and watch this quarterback. Look how far back he goes. I think it's hilarious. I'm not pressing anything. He goes back and does a rollout 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I think it's just hilarious. You may want to control him on that particular play as soon as he's done with the play action movement. Either way, I thought that was a pretty cool play. You keep on going. We got a tight end motion with halfback power. We got the play action off of that. You keep on going. We got a motion zone. It's that same tight end motioning for you. Then you got PAU slide. So we're moving our tight ends a lot in this playbook so far. Then we got a strong I formation. Who would have thought? There's like, I don't know, 5 playbooks in the entire game that may have a strong formation. Well, here you go. We got strong pro, 18 plays. It's a 2-back set, so that means, yes, you do got a fullback in here. You got some fullback motion. That's pretty cool. Inside zone split, PA slide, a stretch. You keep on going. We got a Z motion. We got a Z close F trail. That's a weird, old-school looking West Coast type of concept there. I'm not a big fan of the route spacing, but it looks cool nonetheless. You got more Z motion with another, you got a counter, and you got a F flat, which I think it's great they call it F flat. That's awesome. My guess there's probably not other playbooks that would have that play in it. I could be dead wrong though. I did not check that. Anyway, it's just typical run play action about what you expect, but again, with a little bit of motion flair if you need it. We do got one pistol formation. Don't get too excited. It's just one. It's just got one halfback and a tight end, so it's 11 personnel. You got 9 plays in it. Anytime you're doing play pistol, to me, it's no different than single back. It's like if the shotgun and single back got pregnant, this is what comes out, the pistol. And so I treat this as a pro style formation, unless it's got some play or some option in it, and it does. It's got some read options. I just wanted to point that out. Otherwise, it's a pro style formation. Now we got some gun formations. Finally, shotgun, everybody's favorite. Let's go gun ace. This is a 2x2 look with a couple tight ends out there. Then we got wing slot offset, so you're just moving a tight end and receiver. They're kind of flipping roles there. It's still 2x2 though. Then we got doubles halfback weak. Your 11 personnel, your 1 back, 1 tight end. Then we got doubles flex, so these two kind of work together more or less. Then you got wing trips weak, a 3x1 look, still 11 personnel. Then we got spread Y flex, that tight end, number 12, he's still out there. Then we got spread Y flex weak, so you're just moving the halfback over to the opposite side. And then we got tray open. The tight end is still out there. Kind of keep that in mind in this 3x1 look. And we got an empty formation, empty tray flex. We got 15 plays there. So again, let's just go through here and try to find some motion. I don't think the gun, it's been like a day or so since I've looked at this before I started making the video. I didn't see a lot of motion. We got some Z motion here. It's got a halfback base, a bug sweep, which is always really fun. We got a PA cross on top of that. We got doubles flex. Do we have any here? What about wing trips weak? I don't see any. What about spread Y flex? More Z motion. We got a motion replace, motion sluggo replace, and motion slot flag. So the first two over here on the left, weird route combinations. You don't see these too often. I suggest you practice those. Again, just really interesting route combination. You got a triangle read on one side and a backside kind of like alert on the other end. It's just kind of however you want to go about doing that. But I just wanted to point that out. A very interesting concept. Spread Y flex week. Do we have any here? We got some halfback swings. So literally every single person that starts or can start or get on the field has some motion involved with them. Here we got the halfback moving around. We got shallow cross, we got stick, we got spot, some typical air raid stuff right there. Tray open, do we have any here? We do not. And what about empty tray flex? Most of the empty ones usually don't, and we don't. So the way this really works is, you do a lot of run, play action. So Jonathan Smith, the head coach of Michigan State, this is what he likes to do. He likes to run, do play action, jet sweeps, and then he can go into gun. And when he needs it, it's fun to watch. I know Michigan State's not the best team in the world, but it's just different compared to most spread offenses out there. Let's talk about personnel. We've hinted at some of this. I'm going to start at the very top. Your 32 is just your QB Neal. Goal line is just your 23. 22, you got one. You got a couple tight ends out there with the halfback and the fullback. Then we got some 21 personnel. This is what makes it pro stylish, this stuff right here. Then we got a 13 personnel formation. That's good. 12 personnel, plenty of it. If you need a couple tight ends out there, this is a great playbook, especially if you want to do it under center, or if you want to go in the gun, you got a couple formations there. 11 personnel. This is the most popular personnel group in football, and they got plenty of it in there. And they have an 0-1. A rare. Most of the empty formations are 11 personnel based. This one's an 0-1, so there's technically no 10 personnel. If there's any downside to this playbook, there's no true 10 personnel. And even if you went to some of these right here, you're probably not going to be able to get 4 receivers out there via sub package. Like right here, you can check and see. I don't see a 4 wide receiver sub package in there. That doesn't make it a bad thing though. But if you want to run a 4 wide receiver offense, don't pick this playbook. So there is your personnel groupings, a nice variety. Again, that's very pro stylish. Before we get into the actual concepts, I want to briefly talk about plays. Here's what we got. So this is a run play action offense, a ton of basic runs. That's what you would expect out of a pro style offense. It's got plenty of passing like most playbooks do. Very little option. Again, it's pro style. Don't expect to be running triple and speed and read an absolute ton. And there's not many RPOs, only 18 of them. So kind of keep that in mind. I do want to go in through here really quickly to the... I'm going to actually want to highlight a couple things. QB run, just so I don't forget this. This has got a lot of QB runs, more than what you would expect. You got QB blast, zone. Like I'm going to call this basic zone out of gun ace. We'll go up against something random. You wouldn't think out of a basic pro style offense you would have this much quarterback runs, but you do. 7 of them to be exact, and we don't have any wildcat in the playbook. You keep on going. More QB zone, QB blast, and then we got the QB sneak out of goal line normal, which is pretty typical. But don't neglect the draws. There could be a QB draw in here. I don't see any here, but I just wanted to point that out. 7 is a really high number for QB designed runs, especially for an offense like this. The other thing I really want to point out is play action in general. Again, there are over 100 play actions. This is what you do. You run, you play action, and then you work off of that. And their screen game, it's not a whole lot here. There's only 16 of them. So I just kind of, again, want to give you just a basic rundown of what they're trying to do play-wise. So let's go over to the concepts and let's talk about their main one. So counter, we have inside zone, we have outside zone and power. We also got a few other things. We got 14 sweeps. This is another reason why I love this playbook. I love toss. You keep on going, and those are the big highlights. Jet sweep, I actually kind of want to point that out. We saw plenty of it under center. But this is a variety in terms of running. If you want to run inside and outside zone, there is your zone running scheme. You can do that just by itself and be okay. You can go gap scheme. You got plenty of power, 25 power plays. That's a ton. That means you probably need to use it. And you got 11 counters to go with that. On top of that, we got 14 sweeps. Look at all these toss plays. I love it. I love toss. Just fun, just different. And buck sweeps to kind of throw in there with it. You even got a few traps, which is technically a power in a sense. You even got the end around if you want to do a reverse. Again, the variety of running here I think is amazing. It makes up for the lack of option. As you can see here, we don't have hardly any option. There's hardly any, you got 7 reads. You don't run this offense to run read option, but it's in there if you need it. But in terms of your RPOs, there's not much here. You got 14 alerts, but the positive with the RPOs is most of these are going to your top receiver. More often than not, your number 1 receiver is over on the far left. And look at these top 3 right here. Who has a chance to get the ball catching it? It's your X receiver on the left. You keep on going. You got your number 2 receiver on that bubble. You got your number 1 receiver there in the middle. You got your number 2 receiver on the 26 duo alert bubble. You kind of get what I'm saying here. Your top 1 or 2 receivers have got a very good chance of catching the ball. That's a very positive with an RPO. It's just a simple way to get the ball to your top receivers without just doing a basic pass. But the more you go through here, the more you get into like your slot receiver bubbles and things of that nature. But I just wanted to point that out. Again, there's some 14 RPOs. That is enough, but again, that's not why you use this playbook. Let's look at the quicks. If I want a pro-style offense, I want a variety of quicks, and we have it. We got 8 Ohios. That's a really high number. Your high-low on the outside, just a go-out route combo. You got 7 Omahas. And not many people use Omaha. If you back out and you go over to Omaha, what's it say? Out routes by the outside receiver. Okay, so let's go back and look at that. They pretty much dump any semi-mid to short out route. They just kind of dump it here, but I'm here to tell you 7 is a really high number. We got plenty of slant, like with most playbooks. We got 3 spacings, and we got 12 sticks. So you got a good variety here. You're probably not going to find a better variety of quick passing concepts than like this playbook right here, except for like maybe Iowa and Michigan, which I may cover down the road. Let's talk about the medium. So you kind of see here we got more deep pass plays than we do mediums. That makes sense because you run the ball a lot. Therefore, you want to go play action over the top. Let's look at the mediums. Our most popular ones, let's just quickly go through here. You got 8 choice. That's a decent number. You got 11 curls. You got 8 double moves. We got 8 drives. We have 7 mesh. We also have 9 slot cross, typically your Y cross or just a cross from somebody, more or less. And then we got 25 smash. That's pretty typical. And you got a little bit of everything there. You got 7 spot. And we got a couple Texas. But notice the theme there. 8, 11, 8, 8. You go through here, 7. You keep on going. We got 9, 25, 7. There is a great variety here. Yes, there's more smash than anything, but that's pretty typical. But you got like 8 concepts right there that all are kind of equal to this playbook. So again, variety is the name of the game with the pro style attack. Let's look at the deep pass. We got a lot more here. 23 comeback plays, 23. You got to use it. There's just an absolute ton in here. And this is typically a popular concept out of the deep pass section. We got 5 daggers. Let's see. We have 14 floods. I love flood. You got zone side and you got a man side more or less. You got 15 verticals. That's pretty typical. You got a little variety here. I love the fake flanker screen wheel. I think that just looks really cool. Kind of different. You keep on going. We also have 9 Portlands, a really oddball but a high number for Portland. You don't see that too often, but Portland's pretty cool. Then you got 24 shots. Shocker. Play action, over the top. What else would you expect? Tons of it. Then we got 5 switch, just pretty much your post wheel on the same side and just a different variety as you can see. Again, it says we got 29 play actions. We already looked at it earlier. We actually have over 100, but we got 19 boots. So this is going to be your main play action concept. This is what's at least a good part about this. You got plenty of boots to work with. You're just getting a halfback, a tight end, or fullback, usually in the flat, mostly a backfield player, because when you go to slide, it's usually a tight end player. No, notice the tight end going in the flat on a lot of these. So again, boot and slide, run to the outside, inside, play action, boot, slide. Then you do some dropbacks on top of that. The screen game, there's not a lot here. I mean, it's just not a screen offense. You got some. If you're going to do any type of screening, it'd probably be out of those RPOs if I had to guess. So this is what you're doing. It's, it's a pro style attack. You're running under center. You're going to play action. You can do some of that from the shotgun, using a wide variety of personnel groupings. You got every type of run play imaginable. You got a good portion of quick game, good portion of medium, good portion of deep. If you just need a wide variety of things, man, this is just a great playbook for you. And again, it's one of my favorite pro style attacks in the game. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.